Hi, this is Rob. I'm going to be showing you how to do the exercises that go along with the video lesson, Exponents and Square Roots. Are you ready? Let's go. For our first problem, we have fill in the blank, and we have this symbol right here, without any index number, is the blank root. So this is the root symbol, and we can put an index number up here to show which root it is, and if there's no number up there, there's no index number, then we know that it's a number 2. So it's the second root, or that also has a special name called the square root. For problem 2, we have fill in the blank. The root sign is also called the blank sign. Remember, the root sign, we just saw it, is this right here. And remember, it has another name called the radical sign. Remember, it's just totally radical sign. For problem 3, we have fill in the blank. Exponents and roots are blank operations. So we need to figure out how exponents and roots relate to each other. Their operations affect each other in some way. And remember, they undo each other. An exponent will undo a root, and a root will undo an exponent. So that means they're inverse operations. Inverse operations. For problem 4, use what you know about exponents and roots to fill in the missing number. And we have 7 squared equals 49. And then we need to figure out what the square root of 49 is. So the square root of something is what number squared would give us that number. So 7 squared will give us 49, so the square root of 49 is 7. For problem 5, we have use what you know about exponents and roots to fill in the missing number. And we're shown that 3 to the 4th power equals 81, and we need to figure out what the 4th root of 81 is. So what number raised to the 4th power would give us 81? Well, 3 raised to the 4th power gives us 81, so the 4th root of 81 is 3. For problem 6, we have use what you know about exponents and roots to fill in the missing number. And we're shown that the cube root of 125 equals 5, and now we need to figure out what number raised to the 3rd power will give us 125. Well, we know that the cube root of 125 is 5, so 5 raised to the 3rd power is 125. For problem 7, we have used the multiplication table to find the roots of these perfect squares. So all of these square roots that we're going to be asked to find are answers on the multiplication table, so you should have them memorized. First, we need to figure out the square root of 25. So if you remember from the multiplication table, 5 times 5 equals 25, so the square root of 25 is 5. Now we need to figure out the square root of 64. And 8 times 8 is 64, so 8 is the square root of 64. Now the square root of 36, and 6 times 6 is 36, so the square root of 36 is 6. And now the square root of 100, and 10 times 10 is 100, so the square root of 100 is 10. For problem 8, we need to calculate this cube root, and we're given the cube root of 8 equals what? So we need to figure out what number we can multiply together 3 times to get 8. So let's give it a try. Let's try the smallest number we could think of that might be it is 1. So 1 times 1 times 1 equals 1, so that can't be it. And then let's make it bigger, so let's try 3. Well, 3 times 3 times 3 is 27. That's way off. So let's try in the middle. Let's try 2 times 2 times 2. 2 times 2 times 2 does equal 8. So the cube root of 8 is 2. For problem 9, we have used the root function on a calculator to find the value of this root. Round your answer to 2 decimal places. All right? So we need to find out the square root of 2. So first, we enter the number 2, and then we click on the square root button right here, and we have 1.414214, and the digits would go on, forever if we had a big enough calculator. But we only need to show 2 decimal places. That means after the decimal point here, we just show 2 digits. Right? So we put 1.41. So the square root of 2 equals 1.41. For problem 10, we have use the root function on a calculator to find the value of this root. Round your answer to 2 decimal places. And here we need to find the cube root of 2. So you'll need a calculator that has a button that lets you find out roots for whatever power you want. All right, so first we type in the number that we want the root of, so 2, and then our root button, and then we type in what power of root, like do we want a third root, a fourth root, or what? So we type in the 3, then equal, and we have 1.259921, and the digits would keep on going, of course, but we only need to show 2 digits, but we need to round it, so it's 1.25, but because that's a 9, we'll round that up. So we'll put 1.26. So the cube root of 2 is 1.26.